Open almost any industrial control panel, and the first thing you see is rows of them. Small plastic connectors clipped onto a metal rail with a wire landing on each side. Those are terminal blocks. They look like the most boring part of the whole panel. They're also the backbone of it. Every wire that comes in from the field and every wire that goes out to your PLC passes through one of these. Get them right, and the panel is a joy to troubleshoot. Get them wrong, and you lose an afternoon chasing a fault that was never really there. So in this video, I will explain exactly what a terminal block is. We will walk through the main types you will actually meet, and then show how the whole terminal strip ties field wiring to your PLC. Let's start with one block. Quick note before we dig in. This is from PLC Simulator, where you can practice panel wiring and the rest of this video free, right in your browser. No panel, no hardware, no risk. The link is in the description. Click the link in the description to try it free. Now back to that one block. So what is a terminal block, really? At its core, it is a modular connector. One little body that clips onto DIN rail, that standard metal rail running across the back of the panel. Each block takes a wire on one side and a wire on the other, and connects them internally through a metal bus bar. That is the whole job. Instead of twisting two wires together and burying the splice somewhere, the connection happens at one tidy, accessible, labeled point. Now line a bunch of these up on the same rail, side by side, and they snap together into a row. That row is called the terminal strip, and the terminal strip becomes the single place every wire in the panel passes through. Field wires land on one side. Panel and PLC wires leave from the other. One clean boundary. Now the types. They all clip on the same rail, but each one does a specific job. The feed-through block is the workhorse. One wire in, one wire out, a straight pass-through. Most of your strip is these. The ground, or earth, block looks similar but bonds straight through to the metal rail, so it ties protective earth to the panel. The fused block adds an inline fuse, so you can protect a single circuit right at the terminal and pull the fuse to isolate it. The disconnect, or knife, block has a little lever that lifts to physically break the circuit, perfect for testing a device without unwiring anything. Multi-level blocks stack 2 or 3 connections in one footprint to save precious rail space. And sensor or actuator blocks come pre-wired for power and signal, so landing a 3-wire sensor is quick. Same family, different tools. A couple of practical things that trip people up. First, how the wire is actually clamped. You will choose between 3 styles. Screw clamp. The classic, a screw drives a plate onto the wire. Push in, strip the wire, push it straight into a spring, done in seconds. And spring clamp. A lever or pry point opens the spring. Push in and spring clamp resist vibration better, and they are faster. Second, jumpers. Say you need 24 volts on 10 blocks. You do not run 10 separate wires. You drop an insertion bridge, a jumper comb, across the tops of those blocks, and they all share one common potential. Same trick for a 0-volt rail. Third, and do not skip this, mark and number every single terminal so the strip matches your drawing. An unlabeled strip is a guessing game. Now zoom out, because this is where it all clicks. Picture the signal path. A sensor out in the field runs its cable into the panel. That cable lands on the terminal strip, the field side. From the other side of those same blocks, short panel wires cross over to the PLC input card. So the strip sits right in the middle. Field wiring, terminal strip, PLC input and output. Every signal in the entire panel is traceable through that one row. That is why electricians wire to the strip and not straight to the PLC. You can disconnect, test, or replace the PLC without touching a single field wire. I go deeper on the full panel, on landing sensors, and on reading the prints in 3 linked videos below. So here's what to walk away with. A terminal block is a modular connector that clips on DIN rail to land and join wires safely. Lined up, they form the terminal strip, the one boundary every wire passes through. The types feed through, ground, fuse, disconnect, multi-level, sensor, each do one job. And jumpers distribute a common across a whole row. Learn to name them, and a control panel stops being a wall of wire. Now, go make it concrete. If you want to practice panel wiring hands-on, click the link in the description to start free at plcsimulationsoftware.com. No hardware, no install. Subscribe. New video every Tuesday. See you in the next one.